Good evening, everybody, and welcome. My name is Rick User here with AirgunWebTV. We've got a brand new show for you guys. I hope you guys are having a great evening. Kind of weird how the lag works, so hopefully you guys are getting this and enjoying the me just hopefully not just sitting down and making no noise. So hopefully we're right on top of things here. Hopefully we'll see. Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us. We are. Hey there, Gary. We are back from Squirrel Master Classic. Had a great time out there. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about, what's next for AirgunWeb, Gateway to Airguns, Airgun Expo, etc., etc. My hat's all squished from the trip. Anyway. And hopefully we'll have Angie will come up here tonight, and she can kind of chime in there in the chat. And I believe we're getting things set up over at Angie's where she can actually join us, which will be very, very cool. I think that'll be super awesome. So hello, everybody. Glad you guys could join us. So let's get into it. Squirrel Master Classic was a great time. We did not come in dead last. Came in second to last. But it was fun nonetheless. The Squirrel Master is a hoot and a holler. Let me show you. I got a picture here of Angie here. Let me throw that up here. There we go. There's Angie in the background there. She's up there getting some squirrels. Yeah, so the Squirrel Master is a trip. When you go out there, it's really, you have a bunch of youngsters that some of them have maybe never even gone hunting before. And it's an introduction for them to go and do some hunting and hang out with some celebrities like Bone Collector and Buck Commander and Jackie Bushman with Buck something or other. Buckmaster, there we go. And so there is, it's a kind of a big deal for the kids to be able to do that. But it is a challenge. We weren't sure we were going to have it because the weather didn't look good. The weather cleared just enough for us to get out there, and our team did great. It's really the luck of the draw and the hustle of the dogs. Yeah, there is just a question. There is going to be a new Gen 3. I don't have all the details on that yet, so I don't want to talk about that just yet. But I know we're waiting for inventory to come in, so as soon as we get that together, we'll be able to talk about that. Anyway, Angie, you see your picture up there. I snagged that off of the B-roll there. Anyway, so the way the Squirrel Master works is you have dogs that go and run and they bark to let you know where the squirrels are, and then it's your job to find them and put them in the bag. And there are some teams that really had some great property and some great teamwork to have like the highest numbers ever. The winning team, which was Raised Hunting, congratulations, guys. They bagged 60 squirrels in 2, 3 to 4 or 5 hour hunts. And then the next was Bone Collector, and those guys got 59, so it was right down to the wire. Our team did pretty good. I think we got 36 or so total. It was hard hunting that first day. The second day, they did very well getting 25 squirrels. So just a really, really good time. I want to say thank you to Gamo for putting this on. And I've got a video coming out. I don't know if it'll be this week or probably next week. We'll have several videos of covering that event, just so you guys know. We'll have some of them coming out pretty soon. But I did a video on the gear of Squirrel Master. So we had 3 different guns we were using. We were using the, we used the Bone Collector Gen 2. I think that's what Angie's using there. I took my Sniper Gen 2 and Jacob from Media Direct used that gun. And then we also had the guns that they gave the youths to shoot was the Fusion. And it was interesting. I hadn't shot the Fusion in a while, and my first use of the Fusion was okay. It didn't really blow me away, but I got the opportunity to shoot I don't know if it's a new iteration or they just got their manufacturing down on it, but the gun actually absolutely impressed the dickens out of me, and so I'll be doing some testing with that gun. It was really, really awesome. G-Man, we had 2 dogs on our team. I think The second day, we had another dog kind of show up. I don't know all the dynamics. Just so you guys know, I didn't actually get to participate in the hunting this year. I had a little bit of a health issue that came up, which kept me back at the lodge, which was a bummer. But I did cheer my team on and you know, rooted for them as best as I could and gave them as much moral support and encouragement as I could from the lodge. But it was they did a great job. They did a great job. I've done this hunt many times, and it really stinks when you get a piece of land where there just aren't any squirrels, or they're not coming out, or it's just a struggle. And everybody comes back with, you know, 30, 25, 30 squirrels, and you're like, where are the squirrels? But my team, they didn't give up. They went out and hit it hard the next day and really did well. Day two, they really did well. So if they had day one and day two would have been similar, they would have been right there in the mix with everybody else. So it was a good time, and I'm really thankful for, you know, everybody that participated. We had Frank, the writer. We had Barb, which was a writer. And then we had my nephew Sammy got to go out, and Angie and my sister Cheryl was capturing a lot of footage. So it was a lot of fun, and I know they had a good time. And I can't wait to actually see how they put the videos together. I've got some videos that I'm putting together. It'd be kind of fun to see all that, how it turned out. And we'll be bringing that to you guys here probably in the next 3 weeks, I would imagine. So that's sort of what's going on from Squirrel Master. The one thing I'll just mention again, and this was, let me see if I pull this picture up. This gun here, this is the Fusion. You guys can see in the background there. And the groups we were getting with this gun were like that. And it's not super powerful. It's not like a Magnum. It's about the same as the Maxim. But every advancement that Gamo has, like the best gas ram, the best trigger, the best dampening system, the best moderator, the best sight setup, the top of everything, short of like the most power, is in this gun. And it really, you actually can feel that when you shoot it, when it cocks smoothly, shooting cycle's really nice. The accuracy is very repeatable, easily so repeatable. So I'm excited to show you guys this gun. I've got it out in the truck, and I'll be doing some videos on that. So it was a educational for me to just be able to spend some time with. I'd say it's the new iteration of the Fusion. I don't know if that's a true statement or not, but whatever they're doing new, or whatever they're doing now with the Fusion, I'm excited to shoot that gun. It's very, very nice. So I know Angie's going to be doing some work with Sammy, because Sammy got to take a gun home with him. So Angie's got one of these new Fusions as well. So Angie, whenever you're ready to do a grip review on that one, we got to get that on the calendar. I forgot about that one. So we'll get that on the calendar so you can get that going. Couple real quick things as well on the GTA front. If you guys haven't noticed, we've got some more advertisers, which is awesome, right? So it allows us to do, if you guys aren't member, first of all, if you're not a member of the GTA, please join up, you know, become part of the GTA and join in the discussion. If you have any issues or there's struggles or you're having a problem signing on, just email me. Short answer is that I took over the GTA this year. So, you know, I'm really able to work directly with you, directly with our admins to make sure that we overcome any sort of obstacle. Or if you need help understanding a certain thing, we're able to provide that pretty quickly for you. So I'm engaged in this on a regular basis, a daily basis. So if you are, you know, if you want to get on here and use it, I encourage you to do so. But we have these great new sponsors. As you guys, I'll just hit the refresh here a little bit. So we got the Sick of COVID challenge. If you are following what Pyramid Air is doing, and Angie, by the way, I've got a care package going to be going up with you guys, going up to you, probably going out tomorrow. Be some Sick of COVID targets. I've got some other goodies that I'll put in the box and get that out to you so that you have them for the videos we've talked about. One of the things Angie's going to be working with is the 0dB moderators, and I thought it would be really cool to be able to take the Donnie FL adapter for the Avenger and actually use that as our testing platform, because she has an Avenger, which I think this is going to be great. This will be a great way to test a really decently quiet gun, and then different versions of the 0dB to see how quiet we can make it. And Angie, I'm probably going to go ahead and send you the big the big 0 dB as well. I got to play with that a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and throw that in the box to you. So you have all three, the small, the medium, and the monster 0 dB that you could be getting some data for our grip, for those that are watching the grip reviews. So that's going to be pretty cool. That'll be going out to you tomorrow. And then maybe you can shoot some sick of COVID targets as part of the deal too. So one of the things that we've got, and I don't know if I can refresh it enough times. There it is, perfect timing. Gamo has got this GR. If you guys have seen the special they're doing for GTA, but there's a coupon code, you get $20 off, free shipping. And Angie has this gun, and she's going to be working with that to do some video work for us. And I got to shoot this. I got a video I was working on earlier today, and I was shooting this at 100 yards. Now the camera's just my GoPro behind me, so you can't really see it, but you can hear the impacts. And I was shooting a little 4-inch square at 100 yards with this gun, and that's impressive. It's a lot of fun. So if you're wanting to look into a pure Springer, check this out. You just click on this link and go right over to the Gamo promotion for GTA. So this is a great air gun. I think it's a really good price too. I think it's $200 for your standard sort of, yeah. So it's $200. Throw your coupon in, and you'll get $20 off. So, or it's $230. Anyway, take a look at that when you can. We've got also, and we're going to move on to the next thing here. Talk about timing. This is perfect. Airguns of Arizona has become a sponsor on the GTA as well, and that has opened us up to this. I'm going to switch my picture out now because, let me go here. We got in a new gun today. In fact, we've got a couple new guns, but this gun here, if you guys have ever seen the Brocock line of guns, this is the Ranger XR, and it's a little, very, very small, compact, I mean, just a tiny little thing. It's pushing about 18 foot-pounds, so it's not like a powerhouse, and it's not a big shot count either because it's got a small tube, but it will easily fit in a backpack. We're talking something super compact, very nice little shooting gun. So I've got this in. I was shooting this today, and I think 50 yards is going to be a bit of a stretch because it's got a short little barrel, but we're going to probably shoot 25, 30. We'll be working with this gun over the next several months. So this is something that we're going to be having some videos for over both on GTA and also AirgunWeb. So we'll be double dipping on this particular gun. But I want to say thank you to Airguns of Arizona for sending this out and for sponsoring our grip review program, because it's with sponsors like this that allow us to just continue to create content, objective content that we just get to do and how we like to do it. So that's pretty awesome. Pretty excited about that. Let me switch over to there so you guys can see a little bit better. There it is. Okay. All right. So just got a thing saying, did I lose internet? No, I'm still up and going. It says okay. So let me just let Angie know that we are looking okay. Okay. So let's see. Let's see. As far as guns go that I've got to shoot here recently, I did shoot this new Brocock Ranger XR. I got to shoot. Well, obviously, you guys have seen the gunner videos I've done. I still really like that gun. I shot that gun again today just for fun, and it shoots. I really do. I wish I could distill down the experience so that you could feel it. You could feel the cocking stroke, feel the trigger, feel how it feels to shoot. But I still think the gun at $1,000 is worth the money, and that's just my opinion on that one. I think it is. It's really very nice. I mean, accuracy wise, really quickly. And I don't know how other reviewers do things. And I know how I used to do things, which was if I shot 8 or 10 targets, I would show the best one. I mean, that only makes sense. What I've come to do is I just show you what I get. So if I'm shooting and I get 4 targets and 2 are good and 2 aren't so good, I'm going to show you what I get. I'm just going to show you the raw data as I'm getting it when I get it. I'm not going to cherry pick one group over another. It's very easy to shoot 10 groups and have maybe 2 really good ones and 8 not so good ones. And if I only ever show you the 2 really good ones, you're going to think that that's how this gun is going to do all the time. And the reality is, it's just not reality. I mean, guns sometimes shoot really good, or sometimes I shoot really well, and sometimes I don't. And so I'm just going to be, when I'm doing reviews, as I have did from last year and this year, kind of back to it, I'm going to just, you're going to see what I get. I'm not going to cherry pick groups. I'm not going to shoot for days. I'm going to make sure the gun's ready to video, going to show you the video. You're going to see what I get, and that's going to be the end of it. And I think that is the most fair and objective way to actually show you guys how these guns perform in a real world with an average guy shooting them in real world conditions. And I think that is the best way to do it. It may mean that some of the stuff that I show you may not be in a dime group at 50 yards. But I guarantee you that other people that only may show you a dime group, I don't think that all their groups were dime groups. I just don't think that's going to be the case. Maybe I'm wrong, but anyway, let's move on from that. So anyway, the gunner, I shot that again. It was a lot of fun. The other gun I got in, and I did not get a chance to shoot it today. I did get the new FIREARMS Tactical. Let me see if I can pull that up over here. I know I can. We'll pull it up. And I want to say thank you to FIREARMS for sending this out, because this is awesome. Let me just pull it up over here. Yeah, so this is the new FIREARMS Tactical, if you guys haven't seen it. So this one here, the top one. So this guy, this is a very nice feeling gun. I have not shot it yet. I haven't put a scope on it yet. So tomorrow I'm planning to go to the range and shoot this gun. I'll probably go ahead and put my Sidewinder on it and just see what I get. But it is very, very nice. It has this, well, I was going to point to it here, but it has a rail on the side. Those are M-LOK, so you can move that to the bottom, run a bipod. You know, you can accessorize it. You can put a foregrip on it. You can do a lot of very cool stuff with this sort of chassis that they've put on their S510. And from what I understand, it is a typical S510. I don't know that they've made a bunch of upgrades with regards to the mechanics, but the form factor that they have here is certainly, I think, is going to appeal to a lot of folks. They sent it to me in 22 caliber, which is fine with me. I'm excited to see what we can get out of it. And so that's going to be, that gun's going to be something I'm going to have. I'm going to have probably some footage of next Monday, I believe, will be our first video on this gun. So definitely stay tuned for that. It'll be on AirgunWeb, and we'll be rolling that through. We'll be using that gun probably for the next several months for FIREARMS as we go through the different testings, pellets, slugs, ranged, hunting, whatever we're going to do with it. We're going to use the dickens out of it, so we're pretty excited to have that. I hate these pop-ups, guys. Come on, do something better. All right. So as far as other guns, real quick, AVS slugs. I think I have that right. Sent me some slugs. I showed you guys last week. I got to try those in the Hubin today, and Daniel, I will check the shipping, see when it's going to come out, and I'll let you know. I'll email you as soon as the show's over. I haven't checked in the last couple days. I have not received a shipping notice, but they were talking March 4th, which is like Friday-ish. So let me find out, and as soon as I have some news, you can imagine I will get it out to you. Okay, so I got to shoot the AVS slugs with the Hubin. Now, he had sent me some specific slugs, and I didn't bring any with me, but they were .251 something. I don't remember what the last number was, but they were bigger. They were shaped in such a way where they really made sure the slug stayed true in the magazine in the Hubin. And I didn't do any big testing. I was running out of light, but I shot them, and they shot amazingly well. So I will be doing a video coming up with the Hubin, and we'll probably just look at how much power we can get out of it with accuracy. But we're talking inch at 50, literally cutting out the center of the bullseye with those slugs. It was awesome, and it was probably the most consistently accurate projectile I've shot. So, Steve over at AVS, those things are awesome. I'm going to need some more, just so you know. I'm going to need more of those slugs because they are shooting really, really well. So I'll have that video for you. 25 cal. I'm trying to remember the weight they were, 46 or something. They were fairly heavy, and I don't know what they were pushing. I didn't put them over a crony, but they were grouping. And gosh, the more I shoot the Hubin with the little adjuster on the bottom, I started out with pellets today, and I was way too fast. Wasn't quite breaking the sound barrier, but way too fast. So I was able to just adjust that, kind of go all the way in, and then back it out to about 30 clicks, and it was bang, just dead on. And it's just so cool to have the ability to just dial that in so specific, so like repeatably. It's just, the more I shoot the Hubin, the more I'm falling in love with that thing. So let's see what we got here. Airguns of Idaho. Normally my streams I like to start at 6:30. I apologize. I had a meeting today with a client that went long, so it took me a little longer to get things set up. So I do apologize. I was 15 minutes late today, but normally 6:30 Mountain is when I try and do them. That's what I try and do. So occasionally I may be a little late, but that's pretty much when I try and do it. Okay, John, I'm glad you're liking your 50 cal. The Rex P is an awesome piece of equipment for sure, man. It is very, very cool. Let me switch off to a different background here. There we go. All right, so I'm going to switch over to, let's see. All right, so there we are. I think we're done looking at the Air Arms. We talked about the Hubin. Yeah, I think the next thing we should talk about is really Airgun Expo. I've got a video. I think I'm going to move it to tomorrow, which is I did a video on the JTS Standard and Max, just sort of my preview. And I know Angie sort of started with a video on the Standard, and after talking with Angie and talking with Travis, I think we got something going on with her gun. So we're going to take a look at that. And we pulled that video down, so if you guys are trying to find it, we just pulled it down because it was a little bit off, and I think we've sorted out what the issue was. So Angie's going to be circling back around and actually doing a couple range time videos. So as we work out some of the little kinks, these being, I won't say they're not prototype. They're better than pre-production. They're like production samples, I guess is what I would call them. But they still have a little bit of, fine tuning. And so rather than treat them as something that's a finished, ready to go out of the box, here you go, should be exactly what you get, we're going to treat them a little differently. So I'm going to have Angie kind of circle back around, and she's going to do kind of some range time videos as we kind of adjust the hammer spring, kind of look at pressure, kind of look at some stuff on both the Standard and the Max, and then circle back around and do a full grip review on both of those guns. So we're going to spend some more time with those. Thank you to Travis for being patient with us. And not every time do you get something out of the box that acts like you expect it to. And the best thing you can do is do the best you can. And if something's just really off, well, we'll sort it out. And this time we had just a little bit of a hitch. So we're going to circle back around and do some more work with it. And we're going to bring you guys along for it. As far as the in-stock date for the JTS, man, I would really need to defer to Travis and JTS on that. I know they're trying to get them in quickly, and I think they're sitting in a boat off the coast of California, but I don't know that for sure. I do know that they couldn't get here fast enough because I know that JTS is really excited about getting those on the market because they're really nice air guns for the money. But I've already got an order in for Airgun Pro Shop so that we can have some inventory like when they come in. So I'm excited to personally be able to offer those. So that's the goal, and I'm excited to have that opportunity to work with JTS on those guns. But I do not have a date for you. I would imagine, worst case, when this is a worst case, I would say June, July. It may not be that long. It'd be great if it was May. Like the 1st of May would be awesome. But I think if it happens in May, I will be very, very excited and pleased. I would say June, and hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm completely wrong, and it's next week. But I would say June. But I'm sure if I'm wrong, there, Travels will call me up and beat me up about it, and then I can correct it. But anyway, so keep an eye out, because as soon as they're available, we'll have stuff on our social media at Airgun Pro Shop. Okay, so John's asking a question. It's a pretty good one. So John's asking this question. I got some other questions here that I'll get to here in just a minute. So bear with me. I'm going to try and get to these questions tonight. So John's asking, I have a question. Is it probably a stupid one? I don't know that it's a stupid question, John. I read it. It's not stupid. It's just, let's talk about the bigger picture and what you're asking. Why wouldn't the companies push to have videos on how to break down a gun completely, referring to the Hammer 50? Okay, so if a company commissions a teardown of a product, in many ways they are sanctioning that work. The litigious nature of folks basically makes it very difficult for companies to sponsor such work, or approve of such work, or it makes it very difficult. And what I mean by that is that you have Johnny who grabs his gun. I didn't mean Johnny, you. Let's say Fred. Fred grabs his gun. He watches a video. He doesn't watch the whole video. He doesn't read the manual, but he sees a video. He starts yanking parts. Best case scenario, there's no problem. The next thing is, all right, he breaks something. Well, when he breaks something, does he then expect the company to cover his mistake? Most of the time, yeah. And most of the time, customers lie about the fact that they did anything to break it. I mean, I've just have witnessed that ad nauseum, working customer service for a particular company, and dealing with the volume of customers saying this gun arrived broken, and the break that they're describing was caused by user error over and over and over again. So much of it. People don't want to take responsibility for their mistakes, and they try and push it off on the manufacturer or the vendor. I mean, that happens a lot. So when you publish or commission a teardown video, you're encouraging people to do it, and therefore they expect you to cover their mistakes. That happens a lot. Beyond that, what happens if a person in the midst of that gets injured? Now they're going to go after the company that told them how to do it, even though they probably did something wrong. Maybe they forgot to degas it. They're taking a bottle off and it flies and bounces off the wall and goes through the wall and bangs them in the head or something. You know, there's a lot of things that can happen where if you don't know what you're doing, and we're dealing with high pressure air, specifically in the Hammer, say 4,500 PSI, we're talking about stuff that can cause significant bodily damage. Umrex, if I were them, I would not want in any way to open myself up to any unnecessary liability, full stop. Now, there are probably folks that could do that teardown, show you how to do it, but it's not going to be commissioned by the company. More and more companies I see rolling back that they don't want to be held accountable or liable or be seen as liable in any capacity for a person who doesn't know what they're doing, getting injured or hurt. And I bet you that's the bulk of why they don't do it. I don't particularly do them because they're a lot of work. And if I, as the guy showing how to do it, I'll give you a good example. There's a video, and I've just seen so many people reference it, and it's unfortunate. There's two videos. One is Crossman is notorious for having kind of a not a great trigger, really long second stage, and so the fix is to replace the screw with a different screw. Get this screw, this pitch, this length. You can really just make it a hair trigger. Yes, you can. You can also make it so when you drop the gun, it fires. Because what that screw does is it changes the sear engagement. So if this, I don't know, how can I do it? If this is your sear, right, and your piston's like this, if you've got a bunch of sear engagement, so as you drop this down, the piston can go. If you've made it so you're on that little edge right there, then any little bump is going to let that piston fly. So that's an example of a modification or something somebody showing you how to do that is terribly unsafe and dangerous. Now, when something happens, they're going to go try and sue Crossman because the guy that posted the video has nothing to go after. And so that's why Crossman would never, should never endorse or create such a video in that way. It really comes down to liability, straight up. And again, in my experience, people are very reluctant to take responsibility for their part in the situation. They always want to push it off on somebody else and get paid for their mistakes and their mishap. And it's unfortunate, but that happens a lot. So hopefully that answers your question. Guys asking me, what about the Squirrel Puncher Super Duty? It's a beast, but not lightweight. You know, I don't have that gun, so I don't know. Squirrel has been making some pretty good guns. They've made some really good guns for Benjamin, so I would imagine that I would like to try one, but I don't have any experience with that particular model. Let's see. Yeah, Timmy's saying cattlemen encourage people to work on their guns and look what happened to them. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where they stand right now. So that's an interesting comment. So Lino's asking, may I know your thoughts regarding ammo weight and FPS for Springer, and what's a good balance based on your experience? A 20-ish grain around 650 versus 1618 versus 850. Okay, so it's a good question, and I think it's going to be, every gun is going to be a little different. When I'm looking at a Springer specifically for hunting, for me it's all about accuracy. It's the power difference between 14 foot-pounds and 16 foot-pounds, or 16 and 18, in the big picture of things is negligible. It's really not a big deal. What I want is something that gives me the most accuracy, because I want to put whatever energy I have right where I need it. So if an 1813 grain pellet, let's say the JSB 1813s shoot a little slower, but they're more consistently accurate, I'm going to go with those. And with a Springer, I'm not dealing with a lot of flight time. Even if it's slower, I'm not trying to shoot 100 yards with it. At least I'm not. I'm 30, 25, 35 yards is where I'm going to be living with a Springer. So at that range, the difference in velocity, again, is not going to be so significant that the game's going to have time to jump that shot. I don't think it matters. Go for whatever is the most accurate in whatever platform you're running and go with that. Now, if you are dealing with, you're trying to shoot a little bit further and you're concerned the game's going to jump the shot, then you need to go with a lighter projectile so you get the velocity up, as long as you have accuracy. So let's say you have a heavy pellet that's accurate and a light pellet that's accurate. If I'm shooting, if I need a little bit of edge on power, and we're talking margin of error edge, up close, I'm going to go with a heavier pellet. If I need, if I want a little more velocity so I can maybe get to that target just a little bit quicker, again, accuracy all being the same, I'll use a lighter pellet. I'll use whatever pellet is best for that particular hunt I'm going to be doing, or that shooting I'm going to be doing. If you're going to be shooting targets, I generally think that a heavier pellet is going to be more stable over a longer range than a lighter pellet, generally speaking. Again, there's lots of variables that come into play with regards to the type of gun you're shooting. So take that with a grain of salt. Do your research. Take two different pellets and see how they do. 20 yards, 30 yards, 40 yards, 50 yards, 75 yards. Where does it start to break down? Where does it start to make a difference? And then go from there. Make your own, do your research, and then make a choice based on your needs, your environment, your gun, your purpose, etc. And then I can give you some guidelines, but at the end, you're gonna have to sit down on the bench and figure it out. Robert, as far as JTS, I mean, I know they're hoping for sooner. I would be just thrilled if they had them in May. I just think it's, given the current world situation, it's going to be a little longer. But that's me, and I hope to God I'm wrong. So anyway, let's see. JTS guns are made out of China. It's a Zisico product. JTS is the Airgun brand for Zisico now. Or at least I forgot how they're rebranding it, but it's made out of China. It's very, very well made. I will say that it is very well made. They did a great job on building that air gun. It's very, very nice. Let's see. I got my 24. I just noticed that the bottle's off to one side of my gauntlet. Timmy, send me a picture because I don't know exactly what you're saying. If it's like crooked or wiggly or not straight, just send me a picture so I can see what you're talking about. Let's see. Nope, no problem, Robert. Let's see. Let's see. All right, so I don't have any other questions burning up the chat here. Airgun Expo. Let's talk about that for a minute. I've got some feelers out. Airgun Expo is tentatively planned for, and Angie, write down the dates. Let me just pull it up so make sure it's like the 16th to the 20th, I believe. Let me just pull up my calendar here. May. We're talking about May. May. Come on. May 16th to the 20th. My hope is going to be that on the 21st, and we may do 16th to the 19th, and then have the 20th and 21st be a gateway to Airguns fun shoot. So everybody will be invited to come out to AirgunWeb. There's dry camping out here in the desert, or there's a hotel up the road for those that want to make the trek out here and have a GTA fun shoot and just hang out for a couple days. We're looking to do that immediately after the Airgun Expo. Now the exact dates, I'll figure it out. But I may do Monday to Thursday Airgun Expo, Friday and Saturday as GTA fun shoot. So in my head, that's sort of what I'm thinking. And I'll have that determined pretty quickly. And I'm looking to work with, I'm reaching out to last year's sponsors, and I'm hoping that we're going to have the same or greater participation really this year with some great new air guns. I'd like to see some more vendors. John, New England Airgun. There's another gentleman here in Texas with a new shop, and Utah, and Airguns Arizona, and Pyramid Air. And so I hope that we're able to get everybody back together and really showcase some really cool new stuff. So that would be that's what I'm hoping to do. So it'll be that 16th of May, and how long the expo runs versus the GTA fun shoot, I'm not quite sure yet, but I think the more I think about it, we'll run 16 to 19 the expo, and 20 and 21 be the GTA fun shoot. So I think it'll be a great time for everybody to come out. I get to meet a lot of folks on the GTA I haven't met before, and everybody can get to know each other a little bit. We can shoot, just have a great time and shoot some air guns. I know Brian, you guys know Brian, we talk, Brian and I talk on the chat here often. He's the one that loaned me his AEA Challenger. He's going to be coming out and doing some work on the range, so we should have a whole new backstop and all that kind of fun stuff. And don't think I'll have it ready this year, but starting next year or sometime this year, we're going to have a slab poured for the shooting area, and then we're going to have probably a metal shooting building that we'll be able to set up for our permanent home that way, which will be really, really cool. So as we develop this, it's probably not going to happen this time, but the next time I'm looking, we should have the concrete slab and a permanent shooting facility, which will be awesome. And hope to be able to shoot at night too, so be able to put some lights up so we can normal shooting, but we're also going to have this time around, we will have, I think, a nighttime EBR with ATN scopes. I don't know how we'll do it, but it'll be fun. I think that'll be just a hoot. We'll see how we do. We'll probably keep it realistic, maybe 75 yards with 30 cals or something, and everybody will shoot the same gun. We won't have any ringers in there. We'll be all shooting the same stuff. So we'll see how that plays out. I think that would be a lot of fun. Put some ATN scopes on, just everybody get out there and do a nighttime bench rest shoot. That would be just really, really cool. So I look forward to that. That's one of the things I'm looking to do this year. So that's let's see. Let's see. I'm looking at these other questions. Let's see. John, all right. So John, John's got a pretty good question. So he says, being a semi-new airgunner, after one's warranty has run out and no longer in effect, what does one do if it needs repair? Well, oftentimes the manufacturer will still repair the gun. They may just charge for the repair. I don't know, every manufacturer is going to be different, but I know Gamo will take a gun and for a flat fee, go through it, rebuild it, repair it, and then ship it back to you. And it's a very reasonable fee. And I just talked to Tony, who handles all their QC and manages the service department, and asked him if they were still doing that. He said, yeah. He didn't know the exact price. It used to be $50. Even if it's $100, right? They will completely go through the gun, replace everything that needs to be replaced, fix it, and then ship it back to you for a flat fee. I know I've had out of warranty stuff, like I had an out of warranty FX. I sent it to Airguns of Arizona. They repaired it. There are places that will repair the gun. If you're trying to do the work yourself, and that's an important thing for you, then I'll tell you what I had to do. I took over the service for Hot Sun air guns way back in like 2012, and I ran it for about 14, 16 months or so until they got their own service department up. There were no manuals. There were no service guides. There was nothing. There was me and the owner saying, we need to fix these guns. And it was a matter of methodical trial and error, working out the best procedures to take them apart and put them back together and deal with the repairs that need to happen. If you're going to do your own work, I'll tell you right now, that's what you just resolve yourself to that. And if you want to do that and you're concerned about the company you want to buy from having spare parts, then find out if they have spare parts. If they're not going to have spare parts and they're not going to sell them to you, and that's an important thing for you, then don't buy that gun. Just don't buy it. Because you know going in that you're not going to be able to do what you want. And that may not be the answer you want, but that's just the reality. So if you just accept that reality, then you can go find a gun that does do what you want, that does have the serviceability, that is easy to work on, that has parts availability, etc., etc., etc. Go that route and you'll be fine. But if you've bought the gun already and now want to service it and are now finding out that they don't offer parts or they don't, I wish that wasn't the case for you. But that's something, if it's going to be an important facet of what you want to do, find it out before you buy the gun. And if you're talking about like the hammer or something, I'm pretty sure that they will repair it even out of warranty. It may cost you, they may charge you, but you can get it repaired. I'm nearly certain that's going to be the case. So just work with the manufacturer if you have questions. And if you have, again, if this is going to be an important part of your airgunning life, that you're going to want to be able to maintain and swap O-rings and rebuild it and fix it and tweak it and all that kind of stuff, find out before you buy it if the gun's serviceable through the manufacturer. That way you're not caught wishing you had bought something else. That's just good advice right up from the front here. Timmy, just send it to my email account. I'll just throw it up here real quick. You just send it to editor@airgunweb.com. Yeah, if they won't sell you parts, low-key, this is what I'm saying. There's lots of manufacturers that won't sell you parts, and the reason they won't sell you parts is for the same reason they don't commission teardown videos. Is because they don't want the liability. They don't want to give you parts that, or give customers parts that then the customers use incorrectly, get injured, or injured somebody else, and then they go after the manufacturer. And believe me, I'm telling you, it happens far more often than you'd want to believe. It comes down to liability. So if I was a manufacturer, I would want to do all the repairs on my products myself. I would not want to enable the end user to do their own work. I mean, that's just me personally, because I've just seen so many times that end user not working on the product properly and then finding themselves in a worse state. So instead of a gun that is relatively easy to fix coming back to me, I get a box of parts with, I don't know what's going on, it takes 3 times as long to fix it. and it's more expensive for the customer. And yeah, I mean, if parts serviceability and repairability is something that's important to you, find out about that before you buy the product. Just, full stop. Just full stop. Because I know there's a lot of companies that won't sell you the parts. They'll sell it to a gunsmith or they'll sell it to a shop because that shop carries liability insurance. I carry gunsmith insurance for Airgun Pro Shop. So that's why I can buy parts. Manufacturers will send me parts to service their guns because I carry my own insurance. So if I'm working on the gun and I've worked on it and then I give it to you, and there's, God forbid, a problem, you're going to come at me, not at the manufacturer. And I better, by God, have better done my job right. But I carry insurance, and I have those companies named on my insurance, and that's why, guys. That's why it all comes down to liability, and I understand it completely why they do it. It's inconvenient maybe for you, and you don't like it, but it is the reality of the world we live in, and I completely understand why manufacturers do it, and I do not blame them for it at all. So, all right. All right, so I think we're about done, guys. That hour went well. We didn't do a whole hour. I started late. Okay, let's see. Let's see. G-Man, Rick, you're a good friend. Had a problem with his beam and PCP holding air. He sent it back for a warranty work in August. Still no rifle and estimate when it'll be ready. Yeah, that's a shame. And now I got to tell you, I am horrible at keeping up with repairs. I probably have 5 or 6 of them sitting in the shop, and some of them are not straightforward. Now with a Beeman PCP, Beeman should just replace it. They should just send him a new gun. That's an easy fix for them. But I've got some guns that are way out of warranty. With a gentleman saying, "Yeah, what if the gun's obsolete?" Well, you run that risk. I have a gentleman sent me an Evan X Windy City, which is a beautiful gun. I love that gun. A Windy City 22 caliber. It's actually working, and I don't want to take it apart because it is working. And then I take it apart, and they don't go back to the other working. And I do need to try and figure out, we're dealing with a tuning issue. The accuracy isn't what he wants, and it may not be fixable. But I have those guns like that, which this just takes time. You got to have good weather and time, and I've got other simple fixes between tank repairs and linkages and all manner of things. I am awful at keeping track of getting that done on a timely basis. Sometimes I got to order parts from Korea, and man, it's a lot. It's a lot to keep up. So I understand the length of time for repairs, but on a Beeman front, gosh, they should just replace it. If it went back to Beeman, they should have just replaced it. That should be an easy fix for them. So, all right. Okay, Robert, good question. We're not quite to an hour yet because I started late. So, what new or upcoming technology relating to air guns is exciting to you or that you're looking forward to? Wow, let's see. It's a good question. I'm trying to think of what's new that's come out lately that is like really, really new. Um, okay, so I guess where I'm going to go is here. It's less about the guns and more about the ammunition. So you have a bit of an arms race between JSB and H&N right now. Both of them trying to come up with slugs that operate well in normal air guns. In other words, you don't need a slug barrel. You don't need an unchoked barrel. You just need a regular old air gun. They shoot good. And for me, the exciting part is we've already got a ton of really great guns. I mean, I just posted the video on the Umrex Origin 25. Man, that gun is $300. Oh my gosh, we're shooting groups like that at 50 yards with slugs and with pellets, and oh my, it's just a wonderful platform for so little money. All the way up to I pulled my Red Wolf out again today. Had a gentleman out. We were testing air guns and shooting and having a good time. So I pulled the Red Wolf out again. Gosh, that's a 26, 20. I don't know. It's expensive air gun. Over $2,000, way over. And if that gun, if you don't hit your target, it ain't the gun, dude. It's all you. we have the guns. There's so many good guns right now. Where I think is what I'm seeing catch up is mainstream ammo. There's some niche makers, Nielsen, AVS, Steve over at AVS. These places, Hunter Supply, makes some great ammo too. All of these things that are sort of niche, they're not in a tin you buy off the shelf at a Walmart, I guess is my point. They're boutique, I guess is the right word. You're seeing mainstream manufacturers, JSB, H&N, just say, creating a lot of new slugs, redesigned slugs, different weights, different sizes, different shapes, the different way they engage the grooves. Do they have a pocket? Do they have a flat back? You know, what kind of hollow point are they running? You know, what's the cone? Is it like a full-on cone, or do they have like a more cylindrical and then a cone? You know, there's all these different things coming with an ammo from different ammo things that I think are going to make us be able to take our existing air guns and just use them at greater range, greater power, greater accuracy. To me, that's what's exciting. And I've been sort of anti-slug guy for the longest time. Well, I still think if you're shooting at 25 yards in your backyard, shoot pellets. But I have 100 yards. If everything goes well, we are going to try and make my range 150 yards when Brian comes out. We may not be able to. We're going to try. If we can do that, then, you know, now we're really to where slugs become a real advantage. They offer a lot in ballistics, in stability, and they don't bleed energy so much as, you know, ballistic coefficient stuff. So I think that is what I'm excited about in this industry right now, is to see how ammo is progressing so that the guns we have are that much more effective. So for me, I guess that's my answer on that one. So Timmy, you know, email me your issue, and I have some contacts there. I don't know what the problem is. I know that let me tell you, Beeman is a distributor these days. They distribute to companies, and those companies sell them. They don't have much of a service department. They don't have a facility. They're not a manufacturer in the sense of they have facilities here in the States and manufacture stuff and have stockpile parts. That's not what they are. They're a warehouse that ships product to dealers, then the dealers sell them. So Beeman today is not what Beeman was 30 years ago. Beeman is at least it was owned by Shanghai Airgun Group, and it's they stick Beeman on the front and send the guns out the door. So that's the reality of it. At least it was last time I checked into it. So if it's changed, I'm happy to be wrong about that. But um, don't expect that you're going to have a technician like you're calling Pyramid Air and talk to the service department, or you call Airgun Pro Shop and talk to me, and we go through the problems with your gun and we get you sorted out. You're not going to get that. It's not the kind of company they are these days. So if that's what you're wanting from them, it's unrealistic expectations. You're not going to get it. So resolve that is the case. Just resolve that that's the case, and you can go on with your life and stop being frustrated, because you're not going to get, if you're looking for that from Beeman, you're not going to get it. So it doesn't mean they don't make some great products, but you're going to need to get your service through the dealer. That's how that's going to need to work. So John, there's some electric guns. I think Barra has essentially it's an electric airsoft gun that they've refitted to shoot steel BBs, and it's doing 400 feet per second. I'm supposed to be talking with them, and I'm hoping to get some of their products in for some grip reviews. So if we're able to get some of that stuff in, we'll be running it through the GTA grip program. So if you guys haven't joined wrong word. If you guys haven't joined the GTA YouTube page, please get on that, because we're going to be posting all our grip reviews there. So you don't want to miss them. And Angie's gonna have so much work, she's not gonna be able to keep up. So I know that just thrills her to no end. So all right, let's see if we got anything here. Yeah, Timmy. So that's the kind of stuff where you're going to need to not go to Beeman for that. You're going to need to go to like Gateway to Airguns and try and get into some folks that have done those kind of mods. And you need to not even think about trying to buy spare parts from Beeman to make that happen. So that is, you're not going to get an answer from Beeman on that. Just so you know, not going to happen. wish it wasn't the case, but it's not going to happen. So, let's see. Yes, as far as a Gauntlet 30, I'm glad you asked that. I'm supposed to have one by the end of this month. No, wait a minute. Or was it the end of last month? Yes, I've got a Gauntlet 30 coming, and I've got some pellets and slugs set aside. We're looking to run the Gauntlet through the Gauntlet. Can't wait. I'll reach out to Umrex on that tomorrow and see when it's going to be here. But no, we've got the G230. I'm supposed to have one here very, very soon. So excited, very excited about that. I'm going to have, gosh, I've got so much work stacked up right now. It's not even funny. I have so many videos. I could do a video a day right now and still not get caught up. So that's how much I have backed up in the backlog right now. So anyway, Timmy, I'm just telling you, I agree with you. They should get back to you, but I just to have that expectation that they're that kind of company these days. I'm just going to tell you they're not. So you have a choice. You can accept that reality, or you can stay frustrated and insist they be different. They're not going to be different. I'm just telling you. Take a step back, take a breath, realize that that is not the way that company is going to be, and they're not going to go that direction. You're not going to get that kind of support from them ever. And if you just know that, if you accept that now, then you can move on. You're not going to get it from them. Just telling you. And it deals with many, many things there. Lack of personnel, completely different focus on how their business models run. Just telling you, they're not going to be able to provide that level of personal service to you, and they're just not going to do it. They don't have the manpower right now. So I wish it wasn't the case, but just letting you know, it's not an expectation that's going to be met if that's your expectation you have for them. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't surprise me. Low key on your your experience there. A lot of these companies are relying on the dealers to provide the service, and it is tough because say you bought your gun at a big box store. Let's say you bought your QB78S synthetic at Big Five or one of these places that has, they don't know. They don't even know what a CO2 gun is. When they say, where do you put the batteries? I mean, that's where they're going to be at. Or where the airsoft BBs go. I mean, that's going to be where they're at on that. Yeah, you buy what you buy, you use it as you get it. If you want to go beyond that, then transition to like the GTA and get in with those guys that make custom parts for the stuff. That's where you're going to find all of that enthusiast level custom. That's where the 2240s have gone, like from your base $60 gun to a $500 masterpiece. That's where that stuff happens, and it's all in the enthusiast third-party people making customized parts for these products, and then you can get really fancy and have a lot of fun, and you'll get help from them, but don't expect to get help from Beeman. So anyway, yeah, it would be nice if PA had a retail walk-in. That would be pretty cool. All right, guys, we've blown an hour, so thank you for coming out and hanging out with us today. Again, check out, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. We're going to be publishing some cool stuff on the Gamo Squirrel Master Classic. I got a cool video coming out on that new Gamo Magnum, the GR, the special one that you can buy through the GTA, which is a really cool gun. Just telling you, I really liked it. I think I got a text from Angie saying it was a heck of a workout for her. So that's I think that's funny. I really like the gun. It took me back to my old school beginnings with just raw springers. I thought it was a lot of fun to shoot that gun. So we've got that. I've got the gear of the Gamo Squirrel Master Classic, the gear of the SMC Squirrel Master Classic, and then we've got just so many new videos for some new gear coming out, both Gateway Airguns and also AirgunWeb. Be sure to subscribe to the GTA channel. The link's in the video description, guys. And thank you for coming up and hanging out with us. And I hope you guys have had a good evening. Timmy, I hope I didn't pee in your cereal too much. It wasn't my my goal, but I do want to set people to have an understanding of expectation on where the industry is going these days and what you're going to expect from a manufacturer like that, which is really just a clearinghouse here in the U.S. to distribute stuff to dealers. So just, again, I'm not trying to pin anybody's cereal, but I do want to create just people to understand realistically what they can expect. Hopefully that's helpful. It can save you some frustration that you can just accept the way things are that way, take a step back, and then regroup and maybe go to the enthusiast side over on the GTA. I think it keeps going there, but I think that's a great place to get hooked up with some of these third-party folks that are making specialized custom parts for these guns that people want to tinker with. So that's it, you guys. Thank you for joining me, and I appreciate you coming out tonight. Sorry I was a little bit late, and thanks for hanging out with me for this hour. And we'll have some more cool videos and more cool live coming up next week. So that's going to be it for now. See you guys.